And the Hot Boys was you, Dooney, Sterling, and Mosquito.
Well, it was more than that, but everybody like started going to jail, started hanging out other places.
It's a lot of moving parts with me and Wayne. And it's important to me that I fix that.
Y'all see what's going on. I think No Limit won. You know, that's my honest opinion. They was more organized. They was grown up about the situation.
Man, Turk, shout out to Turk, you little you ain't here, but you. We gon' you when we won't you. You heard me?
Man, looks like Lil Wayne finally hit his limit. He's done acting like everything's all good, because after Birdman went off on Turk during that Cash Money versus No Limit battle, the whole crowd caught on fast. Wayne's silence said everything. You could see it in his face. This one hurt. These weren't just artists under the same label, they were family.
I understand our language, you feel me? But I got to say this for me. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Y'all know y'all can't with me when y'all wanna with me. And I just wanna leave it at that, man. Like we gotta stop sending out these mixed messages to people, cause y'all, you know, don't do that. You know what I'm talking about? Respectfully.
The Hot Boys came up from nothing together, built a whole movement, and for years, Wayne stood by Birdman like a father figure. But this time, that quiet energy feels different. And honestly, it should. Because when you look at the history, it's ugly. The money drama, the lawsuits, the sneak disses. It's like Birdman didn't just mess up friendships. He shattered the legacy that made Cash Money legendary.
But it's all love, though. We ain't doing no tripping over here. Big YNT, man. You know, YNT. That's what's going on over here.
So today we're diving deep into how Birdman went from being the mastermind who built the Hot Boys to the reason they'll probably never reunite again. It all started at Complex Con, October 25th, 2025, the Cash Money versus No Limit showdown. Fans showed up ready for a night of pure nostalgia, classic hits, unity, and maybe even a surprise reunion. But instead, Birdman grabbed that mic and turned the stage into straight chaos. Out of nowhere, he shouted, "Shout out to Turk, you a little bee? You ain't here? We gon' mess with you when we wanna mess with you."
He was the Hot Boy there was one of the first ones in the city that had a little backpack with the money and all that in the city. But yeah, his best friend killed him.
The whole room froze like time stopped. Within minutes, social media went wild, clips everywhere, fans tagging Turk nonstop, digging up old interviews, asking the same question over and over, what happened this time? And when Turk finally went live that night, he looked calm. But you could tell he was done with the disrespect. That line right there, "Give me my percentage," hit like a grenade of truth. It wasn't just ego talk or hurt feelings. It was about money, loyalty, and broken promises.
Besides that, you got the Wayne, Drake, Nicki, the Hot Boys. Before that, the Ross, and Cali, all them niggas come from under my umbrella. Every last one of them niggas. Ain't too many niggas ain't been up under my umbrella. If they say it or don't say it, all them niggas come from me.
Fans instantly started connecting the dots, realizing maybe Turk wasn't just venting, maybe he was exposing a long-running hustle. If he's still fighting to get his fair cut after all these years, then maybe Birdman's been running the same slick game on everyone since day one. While the internet was going crazy, one man stayed silent, Lil Wayne. And somehow, that silence spoke louder than words. You could feel the tension building, because this beef goes way deeper than a few missed payments or shady contracts. It's tied to the very roots of Cash Money itself. To really understand it, you gotta rewind way back, before the fame, before the platinum plaques, back to the late 80s in New Orleans' Magnolia projects. The name Hot Boys didn't start in a studio, it started in the streets. The original Hot Boys, Sterling, Donnie, Mosquito, and Terrence Gangsta Williams, Birdman's own brother, were real street figures. They were feared, respected, and known across the city long before any of them even thought about rap.
At the time, it was impossible to have any type of genuine or real feelings. I was on stage, I was in performance mode. I was trying to think about the words for the next song, honestly. So I was just trying to make sure he didn't say it at a time where it was my verse and I messed up a line.
Their name carried weight, the kind that made people move different when they heard it. But that story took a dark turn. One by one, the originals were either taken out or locked up. Only Gangsta Williams lived long enough to see Birdman flip that same street legacy into a brand. So when Birdman later used Hot Boys for his rap group, it wasn't some random name. It was a calculated move. He took something born from real danger and turned it into a cash empire. By the mid-1990s, Birdman and his brother Slim had transformed Cash Money Records into a full-blown label. And to bring it to life, they needed a squad that embodied New Orleans, the same fearless, raw energy the original Hot Boys had. That's where Lil Wayne, Juvenile, Turk, and BG came in. They were the new generation, hungry, flashy, and ready to take over. Birdman saw the dollar signs and moved quick. He hyped them up like they were already legends, before the fame even hit. Soon the new Hot Boys were everywhere, on mixtapes, on stages, dripping in jewelry, riding in fancy cars, and shouting out loyalty to Baby. It worked like magic. Albums like Get It How You Live and Guerrilla Warfare turned them from neighborhood rappers into superstars. That so-called loyalty came with a heavy price tag. Birdman made sure he was the man behind everything. The contracts, the royalties, the publishing, the checks. Every single dollar ran through him.
How you, man?
What's up, Moolah?
I'm booling. How you, good?
You already know.
Yeah, man. How Lil B? How Priya?
Man, Brian good, man. He graduated from college, man.
I know, man.
Got his own little spot, you heard me?
Man, what, man?
Yeah. We'll graduate next year, bro. You hear me? You
Man.
know they all...
He didn't just run the label, he owned the whole dream. And the artists, they were just living inside it. At first, nobody dared to question him. Birdman was the boss, the mentor, the father figure. But once the money started piling up and those numbers stopped making sense, the cracks started showing fast. Juvenile was the first to dip out, calling out missing payments and shady bookkeeping. Then BG followed, straight up labeling Birdman a crook. Turk got locked up, and when he finally came home, he found out the money he thought he had stacked, gone.
I can honestly say, I gave Wayne about $400 to $500 million. Drake got about $500 million, and Nicki got about $300-400 million out my pocket. No cap.
Not a dime waiting for him. Through all this mess, Lil Wayne stayed loyal. He went on interviews calling Birdman Pops, defending him against every rumor. But behind that loyalty, even Wayne started to notice the math wasn't mathing. Birdman wasn't just the CEO, he was the gatekeeper. And once you questioned him, your whole career could go cold overnight. Wayne might have been the youngest of the crew, but he wasn't naive. He saw how Birdman moved, how each artist who spoke up got sidelined, and he started plotting his own escape plan. And that move, it ended up changing hip-hop history forever. By 2015, Wayne had reached his breaking point. He filed a massive $51 million lawsuit against Birdman and Cash Money Records. He claimed he was owed an $8 million advance plus another $2 million for finishing Thaw Carter 5.
The Hot Boys, the actual street crew.
Okay.
What year did that come together?
1994, we all started hanging together, but we knew each other from, like, me and Mosquito. We kind of grew up together.
And the Hot Boys was you, Dooney, Sterling, and Mosquito.
Well, it was more than that, but everybody like started going to jail, started hanging out other places.
On top of that, Birdman was allegedly pocketing profits from Young Money, Wayne's own label. In simple terms, Birdman was eating off the brand while Wayne kept it alive. Birdman denied it all, insisting he never held Wayne's music hostage. But behind closed doors, Wayne was furious. The Carter V, his biggest project, was stuck in limbo for years because of those same shady money games. Eventually, in 2018, they reached a settlement rumored to be worth over $10 million. But then Birdman turned around bragging that he gave Wayne $400 to $500 million, which fans instantly called cap. Nobody believed that for a second, not after everything that went down. So yeah, they might have hugged it out for the cameras, but fans weren't fooled for a second. That so-called peace was just for show, strictly surface level. You could feel that tension still hanging in the air. To keep it real, Birdman has tried to defend himself publicly over the years. He's always saying everybody got paid and that folks just don't understand how the business works. He's even bragged about giving Wayne hundreds of millions through Universal's distribution deals. But every time he starts talking money, those numbers never seem to match the receipts. Fans have receipts, lawyers have receipts, but Birdman's math always sounds like a fairy tale. What really stings is the way he keeps flexing. Private jets, diamond-encrusted watches, fancy cars, designer clothes, all while some of his former artists are out here rebuilding their lives or still waiting on royalties they rightfully earned. That's the part that hits the hardest, because Birdman built his whole empire on loyalty and family. But the second the money started talking, that family seemed to vanish overnight. And just when things finally started quieting down, boom! Out of nowhere, Gangsta Williams, Birdman's older brother and one of the original Hot Boys, got released from prison in 2022 after serving 23 years. His return shook the whole game and even caught Birdman off guard. Gangsta wasted no time jumping into interviews, spilling stories about the real Hot Boys, the street legends, and breaking down the truth behind how Cash Money really started. His words hit different because they came from someone who lived it for real. He basically confirmed what fans had been whispering for years. Birdman used the Hot Boys' name, their street reputation, and even pieces of their story to build his empire. But he never gave real credit where it was due. And when people asked Birdman how he felt about his brother Gangsta Williams coming home, he straight up acted like the man didn't even exist. That silence said everything. It showed that in Birdman's world, loyalty only flows one way. Now here we are almost 30 years later, and the Hot Boys' legacy is still stuck in limbo. BG is finally home after all that time, Juvenile still doing solo shows and keeping that old New Orleans sound alive. And Turk, he's out here doing interviews calling Birdman out by name. And Wayne, he's way too rich and too guarded to ever look back. Fans keep begging for that reunion, dreaming of one last moment on stage together. But let's be honest, the wounds run too deep. Birdman might have built the brand, but he's also the one who broke the bond. The Hot Boys weren't just a rap group. They were a brotherhood, a symbol of loyalty, struggle, and survival. But when money and ego got in the mix, everything started to crumble. And now, with Birdman back online throwing disses and bragging like nothing happened, it's clear this story is far from over. Every time Wayne stays quiet, every time Turk speaks up, and every time Birdman starts flexing online, we're reminded that behind all the hits and luxury was a family that never healed. So here's the real question. If Birdman still owes them millions, what else does he owe them that money can't buy? Drop your thoughts below. Do you think the Hot Boys could ever truly reunite, or is that chapter closed for good? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more wild hip-hop stories.